Hi everyone, I'm back with a completed model, and as you can see, I've done the withering on it. So I'll explain the process I went through to get to this result, and you can use your own techniques, etc. There's a lot of online videos, etc. saying how to do it, but this is what I did. So during the process of the painting, like I did explain, I used hairspray under the acrylic, and then you wipe water on top of it and use a toothpick or fine sandpaper. You can actually chip it, and that's the fit I got, the chipping. So I went and looked at the reference images. They will be on the box folder, which you'll get access to if you bought a kit from me. So I used sandpaper after wetting the areas. I did it bit by bit. As you can see on this tip of the gun, it looks like it's been chipped away along the edges over here, where you think that as it's flying, maybe through a meteor storm or maybe even in the atmosphere, items will actually chip the paint off. Okay, so when that was done, I used this Vallejo game wash, thinned down to around about 70 to 80% water and the rest of it the wash. It was very, very fine. And then I went over the whole model. The idea was to get a wash into the grooves or the panel lines. And when it was dried, I used 400 grit sandpaper and just wiped the excess off. Okay. When that was done, then I came in and I did the streaking. So as you can see, streaking along this edge, along the main body, along the turn it over here, you can see streaking over here, etc. It's quite a few areas streak. Okay, that's oil marks. Okay, so that was with various ways of doing it. I use mostly for the streaking, I use this metal slag pigment from MIG, so it's MIG 3020. Okay, and I use a brush that's actually been cut right down to like 1 millimeter, and then I went over it now, like if it's spots like maybe a blaster mark, I would just zap it like this. Then I actually have it's actually made for, I think, an eyeliner. Yep, it is eyeliner for chicks. Okay, and then I basically just dot it in the center of, or I'd go like you can see over here. I did these over here. Then I'd take my finger and I'd wipe it. So a lot of the work over here has actually been a finger job or a hand job. Sorry, that might not sound nice, but it's a hand job. My fingers were black when I was finished. Okay, so you can be certain areas, you get it, you wipe it. Then when you use a clean finger, then you wipe another one, and then eventually there's still blackness on my fingers, as you can see. Okay, I also use the burnt red, the Stamaya weathering set for the rust. Okay, it's not actually rust. The rust is a bit dark, in my opinion. Where's the rust? Sweet rust. So this was the rust, and I didn't like it. It's too dark. I wanted a more of a red look, so I went with the burnt red. Okay. Yeah, and then I went around. It was quite a bit of fun. Put it together. It would be a nice thing to actually put it on the stand and then do the withering. Although I did not. Well, some withering over here right now. I did not do that. I actually did the parts all separately. I'll get to the stand now because this video includes the stand and what I did to the cockpit. So as you can see on this model, it actually has a vacuum formed window. Okay, now I know a lot of people say, okay, it's studio scale, it shouldn't have a window because the original one didn't, and that's why you have the option. The option is in the kit to actually get the window with it, so you can add it in. I'm going to leave it in for dust, so you don't have dust going into the cockpit. And I think it looks quite nice with the plastic window on. Now with the kit, you'll get 4 little buttons that go on the inside. Let me just pull this off. It actually goes on the inside of the I'll point to this. Okay, so you can see I've put them on the inside. So what I did was I actually cut. You see there's markings on the window itself. Out. Whoop, see, go down. So where there's markings, where you can actually glue them onto the plastic, or cut it and then put it in, and it will actually hold it if you glue it onto the inside of the canopy. It holds it in place, which is actually quite nice, I think. Works quite well. So I just clip it in, it holds it in place, and then the front of the cockpit actually holds the front panel actually holds the front half, and in it goes. So what I did as well was I added the little pipe below. If you can see it over here, I can pull the cockpit on and off without actually removing the pipe, which is quite convenient, because I thought it wouldn't go in. It seems to be doing it, so I have not glued it in. It's actually loose, and it will be imaged in the build document that will show exactly where and how that goes in. Okay, so it's a separate print, a little piece, a little part that goes on like such. And the stand, I basically bought a sleeper wood. I think it's a 5 centimeter thick sleeper wood, and drilled a 4 centimeter 8 by 8 millimeter hole with a drill press, and I cut a metal rod, and I let it just basically, I just measured the distance it would be, and now it's mounting from the optional side mount, which is under these intakes. Okay, so this part gets glued in, so you can mount it from either side. And what I found with my original stand, which you get in the kit, you don't get the pipes, but you get the connectors. If I had it this way, then the model would be sticking over the front of the stand, and that didn't work for me. So you can either do it this way and then bend your rod so it comes out below, or you can have a wider stand. Okay, but the option with this, you can choose your angle of your the posability angle of the model. There's also one right at the bottom, a hole. Although I did close, well, it's partly closed because it actually incorporates the pipe to hold the gun in. So the problem there is it's very little depth to actually hold the weight. So if you want to mount from the bottom, then either glue this on, or mount it separately with a pipe in, if you want a loose part. Yeah, so I mean, it's worked quite well. If you want lighting, you can run lighting from the cockpit down if you have a pipe. I recommend a very thick pipe. You can do wiring, because this model is pretty heavy. I think it's 2.6 kilograms, if I'm not mistaken. And it's all modular. This one is modular. So basically it's this part, and the lower, and then the central guns and the central intake. So if you're going to put the model together the way I have, then basically start with you put this module on, and then you screw it in from the back before you put the engines in. And the same with the bottom half up to here. Okay, then the wings have to be off. Okay, so what you do then is you screw this plate onto this bottom part. Okay, and then put this in, and then screw it in, so you have two modules, and then basically put the wing on, and then shove your pipe through the holes. Okay, I will explain in better detail in the build document, which will be available, well, hopefully soon. It's not done yet, but the model is for sale. But these videos will be online before I finish the build document, because it'll take some typing and some work. Okay, so that's it. That's a complete kit. So and it looks beautiful. Alan Rivard did a great job at actually making the 3D file. I had fun converting it to make it able to be cast, which had to be redesigned in certain areas, because molds don't always work with certain parts that are printed. I made it work. Okay, so I don't know what the next model will be. We will see. But for now, here's the viewing. Okay, guys. Thanks. Cheers.